I want to discuss my research analysis today on the Necturus maculosus species, or more commonly known as the mudpuppy. Starting with our introduction of this species, we're going to explore the world of this species, the Necturus maculosus, or the common mudpuppy, is what we're going to discuss today, and how it thrives in the freshwater ecosystems of North America. Within this, we're going to discuss the characteristics of its taxonomy, range, morphology, population numbers, habitat requirements, nutrition, mating habits, and even some of its life history, talking about its conservation and things are part of that. Um, this is a aquatic salamander species that we'll discuss within this lecture or my analysis. Now, speaking on taxonomy of this species, the mudpuppy's level of taxonomy gets interesting when we're talking about its class, which is amphibian, because that's when it starts getting unique due to the unique traits of having moist skin, like slimy feeling, and having unique abilities to have skin respiration and gas exchange to their skin. Then continuing to their order, which is the order of which is salamanders and things like that, going to their family, which is including salamanders that are aquatic and remain aquatic their lives and have gill slits with external gills for respiration, which is pretty predominant and distinctive within the mudpuppy's anatomy here and the gills and everything. Moving to the genus, which is the genus is including of 5 other species of North America aquatic salamanders that are at a certain size. And then getting onto the species of Necturus maculosus, is this species is a common mud puppy, because there's other branches of mud puppies, but this is the most common seen. Now, speaking about the range of the mud puppy here, its range is within the ecosystems of North America, and that's going to be in central Canada and midwestern and eastern parts of the United States, as we can be seen here. Most of these areas are going to be high areas of freshwater with high oxygenated levels and things like that. It has a very great stretch from the Great Lakes to even the Mississippi River and things like that. That's why it's so interesting with its range being predominant within the North America. Now moving on to morphology, talking about the anatomy and more things about this species. This species is very interesting because the mud puppy is among one of the largest salamanders due to they can grow up beyond 16 inches in length, and on the average size they're about 11 inches, which you can see in the picture on the right side, the man holding one, which that is a huge, aquatic salamander. That's pretty big. But they have distinctive appearances, being like a long eel, flat body with external gills being their most distinctive trait. But this helps them, navigate through their habitats, being able to get under rocks and logs and things like that, is why their body is made like that and distinctive like that. Now, based on their coloration of helping them blend in their environments, they have the most, rusty brown to gray and even black looks, with the little black dots is mostly seen here. Now, this is all their coloration adaptations to help them survive within their environments, and it's just a very interesting species because that is a huge salamander, as we can see there. That is not a small little thing you might see under a rock without in nature. Now, moving on to briefly talk about their population size and population numbers. It's hard to get a specific number of their population due to their exclusive nature and being very shy and not really seen a lot. Though this species is estimated to be above 10,000 mature mud puppies out in nature, though a lot of things is it's a nocturnal species, so it's going to be hard to see in the day and things like that. And, the species is not threatened or endangered yet, but due to pollution numbers and stuff and critical environments requirements of fresh water, this species can also be seen to be threatened maybe in the future due to pollution and human activities ruining its environments and ecosystems. Now going on to the habitat requirements of this species, we have discussed earlier within this species, its range as being on North America on the eastern sides of it, which is prevalent due to being in the Great Lakes to Mississippi River and other parts of freshwater environments of that areas of North America. And that deals with they need healthy freshwater ecosystems and areas to prevalently live in, and that usually deals with having good levels of oxygen because of the external gills and stuff for them to breathe through all that stuff. But usually when you see these in habitats, these organisms are going to be living at the bottom of these freshwater bodies of water, such as like rocks, logs, and cluttered leaves and stuff like that, which provides them shelter and protection. But the main thing is like we're just going to discuss here on the habitat requirements is they need very healthy freshwater environments, which like the importance here is like pollution environments that you will rarely see them in. That means the health of that environment is going to be kind of weak maybe, but the more prevalent they're in, the more healthier a freshwater body ecosystem is within that area. And that's one very cool trait about them being present within these areas. The nutrition of the mud puppy is a very crucial part of this in this species because it is a freshwater carnivore, which is interesting due to it being a salamander because it usually is going to feed off crayfish, fish, insects, worms, and other aquatic vertebrae, which can even include other mud puppies as a sort of cannibalism way. But this species is an opportunist forager. So it's mostly going to forage at night for its food, and it's not really like a territorial species. So it's going to just sit and wait and attack when its best opportunity is appeared for its prey. Due to its physical appearance, it has 3 rows of teeth, which you can kind of see in the picture in the bottom right. Maybe you can kind of see some teeth in there. These teeth is due to its predator being carnivore helps it eat because it kind of gapes down their food instead of like crunching on stuff. It just kind of swallows it, kind of like slightly like a snake, as you can see in the top picture. It has it in its mouth trying to swallow it. Now these 3 rows of teeth, are due to its location, is why they're named. They help the organism keep their food down and keep its prey from escaping, which is an interesting thing about it. Now, discussing the mating habits of the mud puppy. As we go on to here discuss its kind of mating behaviors and things, we're going to discuss its 3 strategies or relations between picking mates and stuff. Some are going to only have one mate for the rest of its life and stuff, and then one is just going to be a female only mates with that one male, or they both mate with multiple mates throughout their lifespan. Now, the interesting thing for this species to reproduce, it usually takes 6 years to reach its sexual maturity rate, which is interesting, but due judge to its size, it kind of makes sense as why. Typically, their mating seasons happen in autumn, and females can lay up to 60 to 200 eggs, which is a lot, but as you can see in the picture here, there's a lot of eggs there. And the incubation period within these mating things are about 40 days till hatching. Which usually leads to hatching in spring and things. But the interesting thing about the females is the males will spread their sperm around, and they have secret compartments of their anatomy called spermacas, which will hold the semen of the males that spread it throughout the environment to fertilize their eggs for their future when they go lay in nesting areas. Now, interesting things about the females: females will not leave the nest at all after laying eggs till hatchlings are hatched, which makes it a part of their exclusiveness. Now, as we get to the end here, we're going to be talking about its life history, which it's a very least concerned species about when it comes to being threatened or endangered or extinct. But they're just not, we can't calculate their species numbers a lot because due to their shy nature, as we discussed earlier, they're very inclusive. Though there are threats to its population and its life due to predators and human capture and even pollution of human activities. Humans used to capture these for the pet trade and use as bait. A lot of fishermen used to kill them because they thought they were toxic, but that is not true because they're pretty much harmless. Though big things about their threat is being pollution, relying on freshwater habitats and high levels of oxygen. There's a lot of industry runoff and things like that to harm these species too and their habitats. Now, as we get to a conclusion here, we're going to be talking about the Necturus maculosus, the common mud puppy, having very interesting characteristics and notable taxonomy. Being a species as it looks is very distinctive with the brushy gills and its eel-like body through environments being grown up to sizes of 16 inches, make it a very interesting species and a notable species to talk about, especially in freshwater environments in North America. This species is got a very, very strong point of showing freshwater ecosystem health, and that's why there's a conservation importance on this species because we need to prevent a lot of pollution to these freshwater environments to promote its health and other healths of freshwater environments in North America. But this species is very interesting talking about, and I had a great time researching it. These are most of the citations I used within this. PowerPoint today and within this lecture. If you want to stop the video and look at these, you can.